Good morning. It is Friday, April 8th, just about a minute before the open, minute and a half, 8:30 a.m. Central Time. Okay, I think my mic should be good here. All right, so just about a minute before the open. Let's take a look here. I've got charts pulled up, and we should be good to go. All right, we're just going to sit back, wait for the open. The lines that I have on my screen here, I mention this most mornings, but the red dotted line is the overnight low, and the green dotted line is the overnight high. I don't think, you know what, let me check. We might have just put in new lows here, so yeah, it looks like we're bumping up against the lows. So this number is going to be close, but not totally accurate. Looks like 44. At 44. I think it's just 44.88. Pretty close. All right, so we're opening right on the overnight lows. And we'll watch and see what develops here today. Got my 1 minute on the right hand, 15-minute bar chart, regular trading hours. Both of these are. None of these are overnight sessions. Then I've got other charts to look at too. I've got the daily and the 5 minute for reference points. So I will mark the first minute of trade with an orange line just to denote what we refer to as the opening range. So I like to keep track of that. And I will hop back and forth between the NASDAQ and the S&P. Just kind of, I've always got the NASDAQ 15-minute chart up on one of my screens, but I will go back and forth, kind of check out the daily for NASDAQ. So right now NASDAQ's below its overnight low. Emini is, or the S&P is above its overnight low, but they're both very close to it. So not going to make too much of an issue out of that. All right, so here's our opening range. Here to here. No surprise, right? We've got what looks like, support, at least short term here. And let me take a look at another chart here, 98. 98. Alrighty. Sorry if the numbers are a bit small. Right now we're at 44.91, 44.91 half. So with trading, I often like to remind myself that there are three different positions we can take. And that would be one, being long, so being a buyer. The second one would be being short, being a seller. And the third would be being flat, that we're not involved. We're neither a buyer or a seller at the moment. We're waiting for more market generation and information, more market generated info. And that's what we're waiting for here today. Most of my trades take a little while to set up. I have at times gotten in a hurry getting into trades, and I've looked back and just analyzed them and realized, I'm just going to wait for the trade to come to me. If I don't see something I like, then I'm not going to be anxious to get involved. We'll just let it be. Let's look at the daily. I always keep this one up just for context for a longer term time frame view. So here's our daily chart. Had a nice big run up starting mid-March. Pulled back to here. And this 40, the quad 4 here, like 44, 44, pretty decent support, at least the last 2 days. So, yeah, we're just kind of stuck in the middle here. So I'm wondering if today is the day that the E-mini and gold kind of disjoint. If not today, then certainly the next week. Here the last few days, gold has been moving really much. Not tick for tick, but it's been very, very correlated to the S&P. So that's been interesting to see. But with the S&P just kind of hanging out here and gold trying to get some strength. Gold would show some strength if we can get above like 1948 and then hold. I think we'd have a good chance to push up higher, get into the 2000s at that point. So I'll keep an eye on gold a little bit too. Well, NASDAQ certainly weak. Here's the daily of the NASDAQ on the left here. And you can see the 15-minute. It's really quite weak. So it's even below what was some support. We don't have any economic data coming out this morning either. Here's a 5-minute chart. This is the one I usually use just for a good sense of context. So let's look at some levels here. Certainly got this 58 level. If you're short from above and you're holding it, I'd be watching 58. Then 68. Looking pretty weak. NASDAQ still on its lows. It feels like we're going to get a push lower. I haven't done much trading this week, I mean, I've watched in the mornings, the usual time, but just haven't been that active. Haven't seen too many good setups, and so this morning I find myself just feeling a little bit more antsy, even wanting to short here, a little bit of fear of missing out. So I'm just going to be patient, hang tight, wait for a good setup. Upper target on E-mini, I've got it like 4,500 to 4,502. If we were up there, I'd consider taking a short up there. It's yesterday's close. Yesterday's open, let's see where that was. Yeah, it looks like right around 65 was the open yesterday. Or right where it opened. Okay. Gold starting to get a bid. Let me switch over real quick here. Watching that one. Well, I know I've mentioned some gold stocks before, but these are some of the ones that interest me. Pretty chart right there. Getting ready for a breakout. I'll go through those later. Maybe we'll keep an eye on the E-mini for right now. There we go. NASDAQ looking pretty ugly on the 15-minute. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Here it is. Here it is right here. First 15-minute. We got another 2 minutes until this bar closes, but really come down quite a ways. See if we get a little bit of a bounce down here. Yeah, so that 65 level is important. Let me look here. Yeah, we'll put like a little line right there. That was the level yesterday where some people, including myself, tried a cute long, right? Like tried to get long there thinking that we might push up, and it failed earlier in the day. So yeah, that's a level to watch. We might have some buyers step in there, push it up. So let's see. Yeah, it was this level. It was dicey when I took this trade yesterday, thinking that we might have kind of a fake out here. So came up and then just failed and went right back through. So we'll watch 65 here. We'll check out some price action when it gets down to that level. Trying to see if I took a trade there, where would I be wrong? All right, NASDAQ getting some buyers here. So yeah, I might consider one at 65. I would definitely be wrong if it got below, say, 55 or 56. So 65 to 62 would be an area to consider getting long. And that is yesterday's open. So with any trade, we've got to ask ourselves, where are we right? But probably even more importantly than that, where are we wrong? And structurally, we'll look at the market structure of what it's doing. And we want to know, okay, I'm looking for a certain pattern or a certain reaction at some kind of a level. If it gets to this level and then it doesn't respect it, how far against me does it have to go until I know, hey, this is not the pattern that I was anticipating. This isn't what I was looking for. NASDAQ guys, work cut out for it. All right, 5-minute bar close to being completed here. Had a bit of a bounce. bounce off the 70 area. This might be a tricky one for me to take on the S&P, only because Nasdaq's right by its lows. But we'll watch price action. That's the Nasdaq daily that I just pulled up. So let's get that back where it goes. Good deal. Yeah, 65 to 62. I'll be watching around that area. This looks like the day where gold and the E-mini might decouple a little bit. Sorry for the creaky chair. NASDAQ really close to yesterday's lows. Wouldn't be surprised if we do push lower on the S&P. Alright, so this 70 area, if we do come down and I get long, we would certainly need to clear 65 if we get below it, but this 70 area is going to be kind of my next line of contention here, so I'm going to mark that one. Okay, NASDAQ new lows. Could be just flushing out weak hands and running them here. So NASDAQ took out yesterday's lows. Oh, all right. That might be it. I know I mentioned that 68 level earlier. I'm going to buy some right here. I'm going to sell a little bit here, just 20%. Next target's going to be coming up pretty soon here. gonna sell a little bit more right here. I'll try to snag some more if we get lower. If we can kind of come down and break this. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm still in half of that original position. My entry level isn't great. Let's look at the 15-minute here. Yeah, it's certainly a little bit higher. That's going to be a good scale out for me. I'm going to sell a little bit more right here. All right, so I'm in a third of my position. This is kind of definitely a quicker little scalp for me. All right, looking at the 5-minute here, we've got some good price action, especially if we can take out this 80 level. Got, what would be some resistance here. Look for it to get back up into the mid 80s. Gold pushing up nicely here. Really nice. Gold's got another 2-3 points. If it can get above like 47, 48 and hold it, we could have a nice up move in gold for the day. All right, so here's that 80 level. So I'm not going to scale out just here. I kind of scaled quickly just because NASDAQ was putting in new lows. And I thought if it flushes, I don't want to be caught on the wrong side of that. Doesn't look like we're going to make it down to the 65 area right now. And I've still got on a third. I might add some more if we can kind of pull back. So we'll see what the market gives us. NASDAQ definitely firming up quite a bit. We got close to yesterday's open. Remember the open was 65. Almost got down to 68. Looks like we got down to 68.5. And then had some buyers come in, run it higher. So we'll see what we're doing here. Next target's going to be up around this area, mid to high 80s. Let's see here. So that's a good bar there. Gold's still looking good. I'm just gonna. Oh yeah, man, that looks good. I gotta show you these. So I'm still, well, let me see if I can get a pullback to add a little bit more here on ES. We've still got a little bit of time for a 15-minute bar to close. Now remember this, yesterday we were real kind of wonky in here with some spikes up, some head fakes, some movement back and forth. So, I mean, it feels like we get a pullback to here and then we go higher, but I'm also mindful that we may take out this level here, run some stops. So I'll consider adding a little bit, like scaling back in. But if I do, it'd be pretty light. Here we go. Let's see if we can get a little bit more movement here. I'm going to scale out just a little bit more right here. Jump the gun a bit there. There we go. That's looking good. And a little bit more right here. All right, there we go. So I'm just in a sixth of my original position. Indices have their work cut out for them. But who knows? You know, that might be the low of the day. Might be. So we'll see if it holds, and if it does, if we get back up here, it wouldn't be bad, and maybe we even push higher, get up to hit 45.02 or something like that. All right, I'm gonna switch screens. I gotta show you some of these gold plays, some of these gold miners. Well, no, not yet, not yet. Still might find a good entry for a long here. So, hang tight. So here was our break here, right? Our breakdown. 80 is a significant number. Here's our break. We've got another 4 minutes until our 15-minute bar closes. Oh, it's gold's day. It's finally come. So I'm watching the 15-minute on the NASDAQ for sure. Keeping tabs on it. All right, so I'm just in a sixth of that original position. I'm not adding anything right here. If we do get down to 70 and kind of take out those lows, I would certainly consider re-entering down there. But we'll have to see here. All right, so in the meantime, I'm just gonna, yeah, I'll pull up a different screen real quick. I'm gonna keep my eye on the E-mini though. All right, here's some of those gold plays I was telling you about. Let's see. Yeah, I'll wait for this 15-minute bar to close on NASDAQ and consider re-entering along there. So here we've got wheat and precious metals, beautiful setup, flagging right here. Looks like we're going to continue to push higher. Got SIL, silver miners, looking really good as well. GOLD, Barrick gold. All right, we're getting close here on E-mini where I might add a little bit more. We've got Fortuna silver miners, looking really nice. AG, another silver company, looking good there. What's this one? MAG, that one looks decent. So, looking all right. Okay, let me switch back. Could be an interesting spot here. Not adding any yet. I kind of want to, but just not yet. Let me get back on the right screen here. Okay, there we go. All right, watching NASDAQ here. Got another minute and a half until our 15-minute bar is done. Here's that 15-minute. So perhaps we go up, pull back in, and maybe get bullish and go higher yet. We'll see. To be determined, right? So we got to ask ourselves on the way down and the way up, what were some areas of interest? I'm going to add just a tiny bit right here. So I'm back in a third of my original position. 5-minute bar is looking ugly though, and so is this 15-minute bar. This does not look good right here. That's junk. Garbage. So to me, I wouldn't be surprised if we do push below some of these levels right here. All right, a little push here. Let's see. Okay, new 15-minute bar. Here it is here. So ideally we hold this little spike low. NASDAQ had a pop, but it's selling off quite a bit here. Here we go. Okay, I haven't added any more just yet. Got some good volatility though, some good price action. Buyers stepped in here, drove it up higher, had a good little pop, almost 20 points. So the question is, should I add right here or should I wait for it to try to run stops? I'm going to wait for it to get a little bit lower here, as I think NASDAQ could get a bit lower. All right, so 65 to 62. That's my area. We'll watch what it does at 65 to 62. Here's what I've got pulled up on NASDAQ. Nothing magical, but got support here and here on the daily. And then we've got this little line. This is a 15-minute chart right here. So let's see. Maybe we get down. Be nice to see a bounce here. So we'll watch it when it gets to that level. All right, here's 70. I'm gonna sit back. I'll know it when I see it. Look at my 5-minute here. I'm going to take a stab at just a little bit more here. All right. I'm still quite light though. Not really, not loading the boat or anything like that. All right, let's see if we can get a pop here. That'd be nice. Get it up to 80, then run it. Five minutes looking decent. 15 minutes, just still so, ugh, just nothing pretty about all this here. Just ugly. NASDAQ firming up, looking decent. Got a way to go though. It's got a way to go. 5 minute looking good too. I'm going to sell just a real small amount here. 78 or 77.5. All right, so the 50-minute looking okay. I mean, this is an area of support here. It's come down, holding it, but this is going to be the battle zone in here from 70 up to high 80s. For bulls, next target would be high 80s here. Then if we can clear that, be looking for mid 90s, high 90s. But again, we're taking into account context, right? We're looking at the daily chart. We've got our 30,000 foot view and saying, okay, like what's the daily been doing? Where are we at context wise? of struggling at this level here. 78. Can't get back up to 80. Got another just over 2 minutes until 5-minute bar is complete. So we'll watch that 5-minute bar. Be nice to push up into the low 80s, mid 80s. NASDAQ looking, I don't know right here. All right, let's see if we can push up higher. Let's see. I'm going to scale out it just a little bit more right here. I did that and then it just popped up. But oh well. All right, so I'm in a third of that original position that I took. Added a little bit more as we came down to 74 and 72. Pleased with that entry. So now the question is if we can get above this level here. And again, looking at my 15-minute, be nice if we could hold this and get above this. There'd be reason to believe that maybe we could have kind of a medium-term low put in, and maybe we get a little strength, get up into the 45 area. All right. Let me pull up the daily here. I'll slide the daily over real quick. All right, looking good there. So here's our daily chart. All right, let me pull up the NASDAQ. Let me just do that. All right, that's looking decent. Let me pull up NASDAQ. MNQ. So here's that one. Here's the daily on the NASDAQ. Here's the minute on the NASDAQ. NASDAQ looking decent on the 15-minute. So came out, definitely got stops out here because we put in a lower low. But it's got its work cut out for it. So somewhere here soon on the E-mini, I'm going to look for another little scale out. In fact, I'm going to scale just a little bit more right here. All right. Pleased with that. Screen. Sorry, guys. All right, let's get back to the S&P. So yeah, context tells me NASDAQ has its work cut out for it. Doesn't mean we can't get higher. And that last little runner that I've got on, I'm just going to hold it against this low right here. So if we take out 70, I don't want it. Don't want it. I'm just going to set an alert here if it gets below it. I'm going to look at a few other charts real quick. At or below. Set that. I'll set an alert here if it gets above this area. Create alert. At or above. Yeah, there we go. Cool, cool. So this is, something that might come down here, take me out. My stop's right here. I'm going to try to trail it, see if we can squeeze a little bit more juice out of this guy. But like I said, NASDAQ does have its work cut out for it. So if NASDAQ makes it up to its overnight low, I will definitely scale some out there. So if NASDAQ makes it to here, I'll look to get out, or look to scale out, I should say. And if at the same time E-mini is hitting its overnight low, I'll definitely look to scale. That's a trade that some guys will take where they'll look for a retest of that opening range, right? So in this case, it'd be right around 88. They'll look for a retest and short it right there. So that, you know, certainly be a good area to scale some. And I'm in super small at this point. It's laughable, really, but take that out. Hey. All right, let's see if we can take out that high. I'm going to sell a little bit more right here, actually. Coming up to that high, thinking, you know, there's a chance that we pull back in. So all right, same deal. I'm just in a sixth of my original position. Create alert. Above, create. So sixth of the original position stop is below the 70 right here. So now that I got out here, I'm just, I'm not in a hurry to scale out at another point. I'll give it some room and see if we can run it up in here to 4,500. All right. In the meantime, let's look at some gold, shall we? I'm not a big gold trader or anything like that, but as of late, the gold mining stocks have been of interest to me. So I still got my eye on the E-mini here and the NASDAQ, but right now I don't know what to do or what else I'm going to do. If we get below 70 and down in the mid 60s, I'll consider taking a long down there. But for right now, I'm good to just kind of hang tight. Sometimes for me, well, all the time for me, less is more, right? Like, sometimes the less I watch the market, the better I do, because there's just a lot of noise. There's a lot of randomness. There's a lot that you just can't account for. But before I switch over to those other charts, let's look. So here's that area. We notice this is support. This is resistance. I'm happy with my partial scale out at this level both times. So now the question is if the bulls can get it above this, push up into here, and then next area, you know, would be this 4,500. That'd probably be a good area to take some off the table. And it will definitely depend on what NASDAQ is doing. So we'll see how that shapes up. But yeah, as I mentioned yesterday, this is just such a wonky, weird area. So we'll see what it does there. Might be that we can't clear it. Might be that we stay in the range here for a while. But all right, let's get over to the other chart. You know what? I'm going to zoom out on these a bit. Let's see. Oh, wrong one. Who's calling me? 1 minute. I've got to take a call. are right up here. Looks like we got up to 88, right? So definitely a good scale out. I got a little bit antsy here, took some off right at this top level here. Thought I would do that and be prudent, be safe, just in case we came back in. And here is kind of that sell-off. So nothing big, nothing major, but you would expect that if we get up to here, we're going to see some sellers step in and some people who are long take profit. So that's what we're seeing. I don't know just yet. Have any strong conviction on the E-mini one way or other. I'm still just holding a partial long. That looks promising, that little wick there. Oh, that looks really nice. So yeah, I'm still in a sixth of the original position. If we get up to, I'll set an alarm here up to like this spot here, letting me know like, hey, we're getting close to your area. And at that point, I'll probably put in a resting order to scale out. All right, there we go. So there's that. Looks decent. But again, I'm mindful that, not to say NASDAQ couldn't push higher, but just looking at it, as I mentioned, I feel it's got its work cut out for it. Now, it doesn't mean that we can't have like a bullish day and just run up, get above this, and then get back into this range, which this is a nice bottom. It took out yesterday's lows. So that certainly could happen where we get back, take out this level, this overnight low, and then find ourselves, meandering back in this area. And that's why I'm holding this last little bit of a runner, thinking that today could turn into something where the bulls step in and move it higher. It is a Friday, so we could see some good movement, some good action. All right, let me scroll back over to some of those gold stocks. Ooh, these are so pretty. So these are, let me try to move this a bit. These are daily, this is a year-long chart. So a lot of stuff going on here, but as you can see, just such a nice bull flag. And if gold continues to cooperate, we should see a lot of these charts continue to run to the upside. So as I've mentioned before, these are longer term plays that I've got going on. So that's gold and silver stock. It's WPM. Here's a nice, boy, this one looks beautiful. I'm tempted to add some to it. So going out, this is the yearly, the last year price action. And this is more zoomed in. So we've got higher lows coming all the way up. Got some resistance here. We've tried coming up to it, failed on numerous occasions. Still kind of putting in a wedge, and then hopefully we can push up and get going a bit higher here. Let's see. Yeah, so that would just be great. So silver in that instance has to shape up. That's silver miners. This is another one that's just gorgeous. This is PAAS. It's another silver corporation, and it's come down. Did have some buyers step in here. Then it's found resistance, right? Resistance, but it's just putting in higher lows, kind of making that triangle shaped pattern up here. And if it can break 29, the next target would be 34. So there was a lot of time spent between this like 34 level and 29 level. In fact, I mentioned this the other day, looking way back, last year, this is when all the meme stocks were just like exploding and right around here. And a lot of people thought, okay, silver is going to make its run and push higher. This is a silver miner stock. But it didn't, and the stock came down. It failed quite a bit. But now it looks like there's a good chance that we push up, get into this range. And then who knows, if silver really gets some strength, we could in fact push up above here and then keep going higher. So I really like that one too. Here's that shorter term Fortuna silver miners. Nice setup here. I've been buying this one pretty heavily too. So we came down, we've got support, right? Bounces, support, should be support. Nope, it breaks, turns into resistance then. Comes up, resistance, resistance, up here. Pushed about a month ago. I thought that was the day. It wasn't, came back in, but it's still, in this instance, like I talk about when I'm doing short-term trading on the S&P 500, I'm looking to see structurally, where is this thing broken? And for me, at this point, if we got too far below this 3.6, 360, structurally it's going to look a little iffy. Doesn't mean I'm out right away if it gets under it, but if we get under it and hang out and meander, especially around 3.5 to 3.4, I'm done. I'm pulling the plug on it. But for now, it's looking nice. And the next level we've got to clear is this 413. I think if we can do that, and if silver continues to just move higher, we could have a really nice run in this, nice rip. And this is probably one of my favorite patterns right here. All these patterns are similar. They all look pretty much the same, but looking at this one, it's kind of a textbook like cup and handle. So we've got, again, like our support and resistance lines, resistance, resistance, comes up, resistance, comes up, they sell it, resistance again, but each time here it's putting in higher lows. So we've got kind of like a big cup, and then I think this is kind of like the handle, this area. I want to see it hold above this, call it 12.5 level, and then get a nice follow through up into 16, 17, 18. So we'll see what that does. And of course, all these charts that I've shown you, they are based on the commodities of silver and gold. So let's take a look at the actual commodities. This is silver. Nice big run here. Spike up. Came down. Settling in here. So we really need to see this level hold. Call it that 24. Certainly this area, 23.75. And it's looking decent. And then we'll look at gold. Here's gold, same thing. Big run up, come in, kind of consolidating, and right where I've got this yellow line, for me, that's kind of the line in the sand. It needs to, if it's going to straighten up its act, it needs to get above there, hold it, and then I feel like we could see a nice push higher. So that's my thoughts on that. The reason I'm in the miners and not the physical commodity is a lot of times miners can scale, they can add efficiencies. So if I'm bullish on gold, but it doesn't really become bullish, but it just stays in this range for quite a while, well, guess what? This range is a lot higher than where gold was trading. Than where gold was trading like a year ago. A year ago, it was around this area. Call it the mid 1800s, and now if you're in the mid 1900s, that's going to give the gold miners an ability to capitalize on that. So that's why I'm in some of the miners and not the physical, not buying the futures or the ETF that represents the futures on gold and silver. So we'll see what develops. All right, let me switch back screens. This might be it for me for the day. I'm going to stick around a little bit longer, but we'll see. As mentioned, the NASDAQ does, and let me switch back over here to S&P. There we go. Okay. Oh, it's still kind of hanging in there. Let's look at the 5 minute. Nothing just yet. Here's the 15 minute. All right, we'll get back to the S&P. We've got 2.5 minutes until the 15-minute bar closes. I'm pleased with those scale outs coming up along the way here. And now we'll see if we can get a little bit more of a pop out of that one. So again, with any trade, we've got to know where we're wrong. Where am I wrong? Where am I right? 15-minute here, kind of for some bigger context. NASDAQ. I'm going to pull up the NASDAQ daily just to look at it real quick. Pardon me. Okay. Oh, dragon. There we go. Here again, this is the NASDAQ daily. So who knows, right? Maybe we push lower, maybe we come here, maybe we get up all the way to the middle of the range. It's hard to say. I certainly like the entry though that we got on the S&P 500. That could all change in a minute, but for right now it's looking pretty good. All right, new 15-minute bar here. I do have a breakout trade that I do, but for me today, I don't think it's going to be the day that I go with that one. I'm usually looking at the 5-minute and the 1-minute. So on the 5-minute, I want to see kind of similar to those daily charts that we were just looking at. I want to see like a wedge form, but just because of context for today, I don't feel I'm going to do anything like that. Yeah, so getting, let's see, let's recap. Here, I was a little bit quick to get out. I was on this one too. I was getting out, so I was buying down in here. I saw it pop. I was getting out because I thought there was a likelihood that we push down, take out 68. I thought, well, I'll get out and then I'll add some more later. And then even here, we came down, I bought some, and I scaled out of some right around 78, which it's not bad, but the thought was, okay, maybe we come up here, come down to my level that I really liked, which was 65 to 62. I thought, all right, I'll be cute, I'll get out some here, and then I'll look to get a little bit heavier, potentially down here. So yeah, at this point, I'm not pleased with the amount that I'm holding. I mean, my positioning is good, but I would like to be holding more, or I would have liked to held more a little bit longer. So something to work on there for sure. There's that opening range retest, right? I talked about how some guys will wait for a retest that opening range, short it. So they're in good shape. Anyone who got short, which in this case it makes sense. It's the overnight low and it's the opening range, so good area to sell it. Nasdaq too was coming up to some little bit of resistance at the time that this was up here, so good area. Doesn't mean we're not going to necessarily flush all the way down, but if you're looking for a good entry to short, that would have been it for sure. Take some off the table. All right, let's see if we can take it out. Moment of truth here. See if we can do it. Nasdaq really not joining in on the party. See if we can get above it. Oh, good deal. Good deal. I'm going to scale out a little bit more right here. And then last stop is going to be right here at 80. There we go. All right, I'm scaling out of some right here, and I'm out of that position completely. If we pull back, I might look to add a little bit more. Might have rushed it. I was talking about 4,500 to 4,502, but I feel good here. Nasdaq's getting close to its overnight high. So yeah, at this point on Nasdaq, like I was saying, here's the 15-minute chart. So it's got its work cut out to get above it, but it seems like it could, and then maybe we meander and hang out in here for a while. So here's 15-minute on Nasdaq. Here's 15-minute on ES. Let me move that out. So we did clear this, which that was resistance. So now we're looking at that O2 level for potential another spot resistance. And who knows, maybe we get up and push quite a bit higher. Oops, wrong one there. There we go. All right, pretty good little push there on the 5-minute. Let me pull up the 5-minute chart. So came down to there, got it long. So S&P right around yesterday's close. Overnight high, next target would be around 10, and then overnight high, so could potentially run a bit more. Boy, it's hanging out, looking strong here, looking strong on the 1 minute. Yeah, 88 would be the, I could see buyers buying it here, think I'm just gonna buy it, and I'm wrong if we get below 88. Granted, it's 10 points away, but all right, watch that 02 level. That was my target. NASDAQ real close to its overnight, coming up to resistance at its overnight low and its open. So S&P is positive on the day, but NASDAQ still negative. Getting close, but NASDAQ's not backing off. It's hanging in there. Good looking 15-minute bar here. Okay, we've just got another minute until there's a new 15-minute bar. All right, there's 02 to 03 level. Let's see, a short, you could consider a short here, and you're wrong above 07. You could consider that. Maybe even 10, a little bit too much. That's too much room. I'm not getting short here. NASDAQ popping right at its overnight high or overnight low. It's right back to its open. I might consider a short here, a quick short. Where would I be wrong? I'd be wrong above 12. Yeah, that was it. That was the pop. I'll give it a minute here. We'll wait. Not going to get in a hurry. Pull up the daily on the NASDAQ real quick, see how it looks. Well, it's either gonna, NASDAQ's either gonna, well, I don't know. Who knows? Don't want to make too many predictions. Just gonna trade what I see. Here's our 15-minute, right? Pretty big bar there. 15-minute push up. Back right in the middle of all this area here. We're right in the middle. A little bit higher toward the top side of the overnight high. But right in the middle of it. Let's see. Going higher still. NASDAQ looks like it wants to push higher. Let me see if there's a short around here that we could get into. Here and see. Question is, where is resistance on the NASDAQ? So watch this 12 and 13 area here. All right, boys and girls, there it is. I'm looking for a short up in here somewhere. Not just yet. I feel like I'll know it when I'll see it. I might miss it. That's all right. Don't want to have FOMO. So NASDAQ putting in a high of the day, it's positive now. It's above its overnight low, kind of getting back into that range that we talked about. But yeah, we'll give it a second here. Let me drag this over. So earlier I talked about if NASDAQ can get above the overnight low, we'll see if it can get, hang out somewhere within this range here. So next area, I suppose, would be right around here. So we could put a line there. Consider that. Ideally, NASDAQ gets to that level when we're bumping this overnight high. That would certainly be ideal for me. To take a short. Here's the daily on the S&P right here. Watch 4,500 to 02. All right, we've got another minute before a 5-minute bar closes. Another 6 minutes until the 15-minute bar closes. I might consider looking for a long. Not here. I'd want to see it come lower first. NASDAQ came up, poked its head above overnight low. It's back below it now. Pull up NQ real quick. Just checking out the 5-minute here on NASDAQ. Oh yeah, that's a good level. Okay. So if NASDAQ comes back somewhere around this level, depending on where the E-mini is, I'll look to take a long. Yeah, that's good. Watch it there. Okay. I'm going to step away just for a minute. I'll be back. Adjust that. Alright, let's see if we get some head fakes here. NASDAQ not joining in on the party. I was thinking about a short if we did take out this high, if we ran some stops. All right. All right, I'll be back. We'll ask ourselves too, what is the market trying to do, and is it doing a good job? Okay, that might be it. I'm going to try to sell some right here. Just a little bit. I'm not in too big. That little fake down got me in there, got me involved. But let's see here. We'll give it a minute. 5 minute looking kind of bullish to me. All right, let's see if we can flush him down a bit. I'm going to buy just a little bit right here. So I'm still in 2/3 of my position. Let's see if we can get some follow through here. Got to get below that 04 level. Okay, there we go. I'm going to buy a little bit more right here and right here. Okay, now I've just got 1/3 of my position on, looking to see if we can get below 04. All right. Taking off a little bit more here. I've got just 1/6 of my original position, and I was in small to begin with on that one too. Still holding just a little bit. NASDAQ coming lower, looking like it could be getting closer to some support. So I'm going to move my stop right to where I got in at, which is right here at 08. So if we get above that, I don't want it, but looking for a little bit more of the downside. This is a rather quick one for me. Watching NASDAQ here, like I mentioned earlier. Seeing if we find any support. All right, so next level, we're going to watch for 02. 02 to 4,500. In fact, I'm going to just, trail this thing a little bit lower. There we go. All right, I'm trailing quite a bit lower now. There we go. Got a pretty tight trail on it. Trailing stop. Looking for O2. Okay. Took me out of my trailing stop. So that was it for that one. Probably should have given a little bit more room, but that's all right. All right. Let's see. Where are we at? Another just under 2 minutes until the 5-minute bar closes. So this was a short trade for me. When we came up here, we were coming up here. NASDAQ was just under its overnight low. So it just showed like there was a little bit of weakness there to me. But I was mindful too, and that's why I kept such a close trailing stop. I was mindful of the fact that we could obviously break this support and come down here and hang out for NASDAQ, and especially considering the context for the day, looking at the daily chart. But I thought with that one, NASDAQ was hanging out a little bit weak, and so I thought I'd just take a quick trade on that one, try to get something out of it. And so it might be that that's all that we get as far as the downside right here. So watch it. I'm about to wrap up for the day. It's 10:20 Central Time, almost 10:20 seconds away. But that's gonna, probably wrap it up for me. So sellers, anyone who was short up here, looks like they, got out, or else buyers were buying it at 02. Let's see if they push it any lower. All right. There's me and my ponytail. I never had long hair any part of my life, but COVID hit, and I thought, you know what? Let's grow this thing out. Oh man, what a rat's nest that is. Oh well. Oh well. I'll keep my beautiful mug up there for your viewing pleasure. Why not? Why not? All right, let's watch 4,500 and 02 here. See what we do around this level. I don't have a resting order in or anything like that. NASDAQ now. Let's look at NASDAQ. Look, here it is. Oops. Dang it. It always does that. Yeah, let's try it again. Here's NASDAQ, right? What could be support. So we'll watch it here. See what it does. Back to S&P. So there's some days, again, it all comes back to context. It comes back to what's our larger time frame? What's the market trying to do? So this isn't a bad level here. I'm not a buyer, but if we consider, looks like the last 1, 2, 3, almost last hour of trade the other day, this was our area, right? We just came out, hung around here for a while. So it makes sense that bulls would want to try to defend the 4,500 level. I guess if you're aggressive, you could try to get in here. You'd be wrong below this area, wrong below 96 to 97. That's not me. Not this guy. Now there are some trades that I take where on a longer time frame. So if we do come down here, meander around this level, we hold it and then start to kind of base and have like I call it a curl. So if we come up, kind of curl for a while, right? Like stay at a certain level. I'll look for it to push up, but I think I'm going to run out of time in order to do that because I've got to be out of here in a few more minutes, wrap it up. But just saying. Again, context. So here's this. This is certainly support down here, the 91 level. All right, NASDAQ right at what could be that little bit of support. Yeah, that was a good short. Should have held that one a little bit longer, but I wasn't small. It's all right. So we'll watch it around 48 here, or I'm sorry, 44.98. See if we get here, see what it does. I don't do too much drawing, but every now and then I'll just draw something on there to see if there's something interesting, right? So we got that. Could be some. Maybe not. NASDAQ looking, trying to push lower. Let's see. this could be our area here. I'm not pulling the trigger yet. There it is. That might be it. Okay, what do we got? Another minute till the 5-minute bar is done. Then we'll call it a wrap. Wrap it up. There you go. I guess you could get long here and then maybe hold it against 97. Look for 06, 08, 10 eventually. I'm not long here. Nothing I'm too excited about at the moment. Well, NASDAQ is holding its support, and we're just a few seconds away from that 5-minute bar completing. So that could be it. That could be the spot. Could be it. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for me. Put an alert here. Oops. Sale. Add it below. Create. There we go. All right, I'm going to run through a few more stocks. Have a good weekend.